For this lesson, we're going to be using our offset again to create a railing around our deck. I'm going to move my deck closer to the middle of my graphics screen by means of pressing on my wheel and using the pan. I'm going to select offset. For the distance this time, I'm going to select the number 2 to represent inches. Select enter. Select, and I'm going to wheel closer so I can see everything that I'm doing here with the detail of the railing. I'm going to select the outside perimeter, move my crosshairs up and left click, and I just offset one line 2 inches off the off side of my deck. If I select that line again, I'm going to offset and click on this side of that line again. This will eventually be my railing. I'm also going to left click on the end of my deck, move to the right, and left click. One more time to actually create the railing. Left click to the side. This is my railing. It's going to stop here and then turn through here. I'm going to wheel out and stay in my offset command. Pan, wheel towards the screen. I'm going to click on my outside line, drag to the inside, click on that line I just offset again in 2. Pan, and I'm going to stay in this command. Left click, left click, left click, left click. Now I have a 2-inch railing for my stair on one side. I'm going to pan, pressing my wheel, left click, left click, left click, left click. To give it a little bit more depth, I'm going to create one more reference line. Left click on the end of the stairs and left click anywhere towards my deck to create a 2-inch offset. We'll also be cleaning up this area with the opposite of trim, called extend. I'm going to end my offset command by simply hitting the escape key on my keyboard. I'm going to continue to pan over by pressing my wheel as a button and trimming out some of the areas I don't need. You do need to kind of use your crosshairs to get a visual on what your deck is going to be. The railing is here. I'm going to go underneath, select my trim, and I am even going to zoom up even more. This is my railing here. So I'm going to click hold. I'm going to go this way, and then I'm going to turn and go that way, so I can kind of see the form of my deck. This is one of my 8-inch lines. That's one of my 8-inch lines. These lines here are not necessary. I'm also going to trim those out. You can see your railings start to form. We'll be putting a post on the corner and putting an array across to make it look more like a railing. I'm going to use my fencing to go through all these lines to create my railing. And once again, if you accidentally slip into your deck and you trim out too much, use the undo to undo that command. And there are 45 lines to go through. So if you do something like that, select the letter U and select the enter key. And I'm almost to my stairs. And for now, I'm going to keep this area here because I'm still going to have to trim. I am going to trim this part here and this part here to represent my railing. Here, I'm going to trim this line, and this line. I do need to see this full area. If I were to select that line, it would have gotten rid of that little part here as well. So to have a little cap on my railing, single left click, and make the other side look just like this side. Zoom up with your wheel, and you can see staying in that trim command. If you accidentally get out of it, just restart the command. All my railings are now trimmed out. Now I'm going to use my extend to extend this railing here and this railing there. We're going to overshoot a few of them one way or the other, regardless if you click on this one first and go that way. First, I got to get out of my trim command by simply hitting escape. I'm going to move up where trim was, fly down, and you'll see extend. If I left click on extend, I can select that line or this line, and it'll extend to the next object. It doesn't matter which one you do, because we're going to trim out to make this a nice even flowed area. Click, 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 click. That's all you need to be able to trim this out and this to make it a nice flow. I'm going to stay in that extend command and pan over to the other side of my stairs. Click, 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 click. Single left click. Underneath extend, now you could stay in this command, hit escape, exit the command. I'm just going to move up here, hit trim, and it'll quit the extend command and go right to the trim command. Left click, and now it's a formed railing. I do need to get rid of one more line on the outside. Click. And over, staying in that extent or that trim command. Click, click, single left click, single left click. Now have a railing for your deck. I'm going to select escape to get out of the command. Double click. File save as. Save. Yes.